Make that money. NBA Finals Game 3 is tonight as the series shifts to Dallas. Boston with a commanding 2-0 lead. Kristaps Porzingis questionable. Will Luka and Kyrie defend home court and get a game? The dynamic duo are at the mic.
I think our defense has not been bad, but just we can't really score. That's our main problem right now. But I think we're getting some great looks. And like I said, we have confidence that everybody can make a shot that's shooting the ball in our team. So we just got to keep believing it.
It started with me, just telling my hermano, I got to play better for him alongside him. And, in order for us to, accomplish our goal, easy conversation, but it started with me reaching out, just letting him know that, it's my fault, taking accountability for not playing particularly well.
All right, welcome back into First Take. Of course, Stephen A., Mad Dog, CJ McCollum. Don't forget, Game 3 is tonight in Dallas on ABC. That's at 8:30 Eastern. NBA Countdown will get you set. Stephen A. will be a part of that coverage prior. Mad Dog, here's what I want to know. What do you think's more likely, a sweep or this go in 7 games?
A sweep. I know Porzingis. I understand that. Boston's undefeated on the road without him. I think Dallas does not have that extra weapon offensively. Kyrie hasn't shot the ball that well. Boston's going to play great defense with their backcourt. I think Boston's going to sweep. And if you get the 3rd game, I think you're going to win the 4th game. So tonight, of course, if they win, I think they win Friday night. I think Dallas is going to do well to get a game at home. So if I think they're only going to get a game, I can't say 7. So I'll say sweep, CJ, for the Mavericks.
I don't see a sweep happening. I think you look at history, how good Luka is, how good Kyrie is, what's at stake here. Kyrie's saying, mi hermano, I let you down. I got you. I'm taking responsibility. I'm having accountability. At home, Cuban's flying everybody in from the championship team. Corey Brewer's there. His kids are there. This is a big game for them. They understand the momentum that could swing here with the win. Luka's too good. Kyrie's too good to get swept. I think Boston still wins the series. I think 7 is more likely than not. And to look at history in terms of Giannis going down 0-2, I think Luka's the best player in this series, and I think the best player in this series is too good to get swept.
Good answer. Steve?
CJ, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with CJ on this because Porzingis is not healthy. That's why I had Dallas winning the series. If Porzingis was healthy, I think everybody and their grandmother would have picked the Boston Celtics. We understand that they're superior with him in the lineup, but I don't expect him to be there that often. I think that he's hobbled. I looked at his injury coming into the series. I was shell-shocked to see what we saw in Game 1 because everybody was comparing it to what had transpired with Kevin Durant in the playoffs before showing up in the finals and ultimately tearing his Achilles against Toronto. So we've got to pay attention to all of that and take that into consideration. In the end, I would tell you this. Kyrie Irving obviously is a key. Dallas is down 29 in Game 1. They come back, they cut it within 8. Luka's not 100% in Game 2 either. Chest contusion, leg soreness, still averaging 31, 10, and 6 on 51% shooting from the field. My God, he just needs help. And that help was supposed to be Kyrie Irving, who has not been good at all, averaging 11 points below his scoring average. Do you really think that's going to last? This is Kyrie Irving that we're talking about here. Do you know what Kyrie Irving is shooting from 3 in this series?
0%.
0%. 0. He hasn't hit 1 3 in 8 tries. You really think that's going to last? This dude is shooting 35% from the field. You really think that's going to last? It's Kyrie Irving. And so I don't believe that for 1 second. I'm also looking at PJ Washington. You got to show up. I'm looking at Gafford and Derrick Jones. And I think that Jason Kidd is going to have to sit up there, and whether it's Tim Hardaway Jr. or somebody to give him a spark offensively, Hardaway Jr., Hardy, somebody, you're going to have to bring somebody, pluck somebody off the bench and give you something. He did it in the first couple of rounds of the playoffs against the Clippers in OKC. He may need to do that again because this dude, Max Kleber, obviously he was a friend of Luka Doncic. Everybody's been talking about them, how they would just, bosom buddies from the time that Luka Doncic arrived in this league. Doggy, CJ, I said this over the last couple of days. With friends like that, who needs enemies? This dude ain't helping him at all. You talk about leaving somebody hanging. With the way he's been performing, it's the equivalent of walking down the street with your boy, and your boy's getting his ass kicked, he's getting jumped, and you just turn around and run instead of sitting there helping him. That's what Kleber's been doing with him. Just a no-show whatsoever. You can barely defend, for crying out loud. You got sides on you. That's the only reason you're out there. and to shoot the basketball. And he's had wide open 3 opportunities, and he can't do anything. He's got to do something. A lot of things have to go right, but I think this is Dallas. I think we've seen greatness from Dallas before this series started, and I think they have the potential to make it a series. There's no way they're coming back from an 0-3 deficit. They know that. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I think you'll see them desperate tonight. They'll answer the call, and I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win tonight.
The Celtics, knowing that Porzingis doesn't play for that one game, sometimes that helps the team. They watch their P's and Q's better. Our big guy's not here.
Yeah,
let's pick up. Everybody sort of picks it up 10%. Is this a factor for the Celtics tonight?
I think they're definitely going to pick up the slack, if you will. Drew Holiday will be more aggressive, be more effective. Derek White, look for Tatum to kind of get it going. He hasn't been great offensively in terms of shooting the ball. He's done all the other things that they need. Jaylen Brown. The Celtics are still a better team. They're used to playing without him. They had Al Horford. I think the problem is when Al Horford goes over 30 minutes, it's a lot for him at this age. It's a lot for him at this stage. They're going to put him in actions and pick and rolls. But I think tonight it's about Kyrie. Kyrie's going to be great tonight. I think he's going to be effective. He's going to be efficient. He's going to get it going in the first quarter instead of deferring. And I think the role players are all going to shoot better. Stephen A., you talked about Hardaway Jr. I think you should insert him, get him some minutes, get Hardy some minutes. You need shot creation. You need guys that are going to be comfortable out there. You need guys that are going to be willing to take bad shots and be aggressive in this environment. You go down 0-3, it's all she wrote.
Absolutely. CJ, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate you. And again, that tip is 8:30 Eastern. Comes from Jeremy Suarez, and it's for you, Mad Dog. Jeremy, thanks for getting involved. Would Luka and Kyrie still be considered one of the best backcourts in NBA history if they do not win a title this year?
I think the championship scenario is very important. Plus, Kyrie hasn't shot the ball well, so it's hard to say they're the best offensive backcourt in the history of the sport. And I love Stan, but Van Gundy has said that a million times. When, so far in this series, what is he, about 13 for 33 or 13 for 37? Is that what it is? Kyrie, he shot the ball horrifically, so it's difficult to say, well, that's the best. You got Thompson and Curry, obviously a tremendous backcourt. And the late, great Jerry West with Goodrich. I mean, I don't know how many times I got to say it today. Go look up those statistics and go. I watched that team, so I know. Yeah. Go look at that team. I mean, they had Wilt, they had Happy Hurston, they had Jimmy McMillan. Elgin wasn't on that team. He quit 5 games into the season. But, I mean, if you go look at that backcourt with Goodrich, I mean, they averaged 26 a game, shot 49%, won 69 games, won the title, and won 33 in a row in the same year, for crying out loud. That, to me, is the best backcourt. No, it was only the one great year. Yeah. That's the best backcourt in the history of the NBA. That, to me.
Even if they didn't win the title, you'd have to have better numbers thus far from Kyrie.
I think you're going to say that Kyrie here is the greatest offensive backcourt with Doncic in the history of the NBA when a guy's shooting 35%? Yeah. How could you say that?
Absolutely. But I think that could change tonight on the home floor. The home cooking always helps, right, Stephen?
Well, I would say this. They're clearly one of the most talented, but they don't belong in this conversation if you can't close the deal. And Doggy is right about this. You cannot make that argument when Kyrie is playing the way that he's been playing in these finals. If he and Luka are spectacular, and let's say hypothetically their greatness displayed warrants the kind of acclaim similar to a guy like Jerry West, who obviously we lost this morning and we've been talking about. It warrants the level of consideration that he received when he was an MVP in a losing effort. Then you could possibly have those discussions. But when you're losing and one of your primary individuals is a big-time reason as to why those results are occurring, you don't get to have that kind of conversation. We were having that kind of conversation coming into the NBA Finals because of the way they were looking together and they had won. The way Kyrie Irving has looked over these first 2 games, you cannot have these kind of conversations about them as a tandem right now because Luka has been a one-man show and the Robin of that crew has not showed up.
Yep. All right, well,